and welcome to the Habits and Home Show. I'm your host, Lisa Lazat, and I help busy moms bring order to their homes by downsizing and decluttering and ditching old habits in exchange for systems that bring peace and more enjoyment to their lives. If you're a mom trying to show the love of Jesus to your family, but the clutter in your home keeps you overwhelmed and frustrated, you have come to the right place. On this podcast, you will hear easy, step-by-step tips to declutter and create systems so you can keep your home organized and finally walk in the peace God has promised you. Need some accountability? I've got you covered there too. Join the Accountability Club, a community of like-minded mamas decluttering and systemizing our homes together. Are you ready, friend? Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome to the show. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to encourage you to get up and take some action in your home. When we are listening to people that are all about taking action, being productive, decluttering your home, maybe tidying it up, we feel more compelled to start taking action. So I don't want you to sit around and listen to this episode. I want you to take some action and get something done, whether that is resetting your kitchen, folding a load of laundry, or sweeping your floors. Do something in your home for the time that we are together today. We're going to pretend like we're either on a one-to-one coaching call or inside the Accountability Club where we do group coaching calls, because that's exactly what this would look like. We're talking, I'm working in my house, you're working in your house, you have some things that are coming up that I'm coaching you on and doing some troubleshooting on. So in our time together, I want to encourage you to take some action. All right, let's get started. We live in a world where shopping is easier than ever, and it's harder than ever to control. I recently watched the Netflix documentary Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy, and it gave me a lot to think about. It actually caused a little bit of anxiety in me, and I had to give myself a little self-coaching. So if you are somebody who is easily triggered by documentaries that prompt you to radically change the world and change your lifestyle, I do want you to approach watching this documentary with just like some caution that you don't have to change everything. If you only change one habit in your lifestyle when it comes to shopping and buying and hoarding and consumerism, then that is all. That is all you need to get, okay? I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So I want you to also know that not all shopping, all online shopping particularly, is bad. We just have to be intentional and aware, especially if we struggle with clutter, compulsive shopping, and even hoarding tendencies. So like anything, when watching a documentary like this, you have to filter out the content. Not everything applies to everyone, but there are definitely things worth paying attention to. So the major theme of this documentary is how influencer culture feeds overconsumption. We're constantly being told we need the next thing to feel happy, feel trendy, or even feel successful. These messages are designed to trigger emotional spending, especially for people who already feel overwhelmed and behind in life. Y'all, social media is smart. It will target us. It'll find us when we are at our rock bottom. That is the nature of marketing, of business, is to solve a problem. Just like I solve a problem for y'all, or I help guide you to solve a problem. You're coming here because you're overwhelmed by the junk and the clutter in your home. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to give you answers for that. So I want you to know that it's not just things like what I'm providing for you, but it's everywhere in life. These companies are trying to solve a problem for you. And you typically are coming to them when you are feeling like you need it, like you are not necessarily at your lowest. Maybe in some instances you are, but you're feeling FOMO. You are feeling left out. you are feeling less than, you are feeling unhappy, you are feeling all of these different feelings, whatever it is. And when you find these companies or these products, yeah, it's really easy for you to say yes because you feel like it solves your problem, right? So this documentary that I watch, it gives a behind the scenes look at how marketing can manipulate us, not just through ads, but through carefully crafted content that feels personal and trustworthy. Trust me, I used to try to be an influencer, not necessarily an influencer when I was doing direct sales, network marketing. We were encouraged to share our life on social media because if you know, like, and trust us, then you are going to buy our products. Y'all, that is, like I said, the nature of social media marketing nowadays is that people, especially influencers, if they share their behind the scenes life, you feel like you know them, like you're their friend and you trust them. And yes, they are good people and they feel like they're doing good, but we don't necessarily need every single thing that they are offering up to us on a silver platter, right? That could be their lifestyle, but we don't necessarily need that. For instance, the whole sourdough movement. I was doing sourdough, gosh, my son is 12. I started doing sourdough like 10 years ago. And like just in the last, 4 or 5 years, I think sourdough is like this huge blown up movement and everybody's doing it. Everybody has a social media account for it and everybody says you need all these different bread tools. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was doing sourdough when it was so simple and everybody makes it so complicated nowadays. Okay. So you could take any content, any topic and know that you are being influenced regularly. Okay, so this documentary, it starts out by talking about Amazon. And Amazon gets a lot of darts thrown at it. And for good reason sometimes. If you watch the documentary, you will see they carefully, just like social media, how it has an algorithm. Well, Amazon, it is smart. Whatever you are searching for, it will put like items in suggested area, and you can just go on this rabbit trail of finding different things that you need. And for people who struggle with hoarding and overconsumption, Amazon can be a very slippery slope. All right. I'm not saying you need to get rid of it altogether. I actually am considering discontinuing my Amazon membership because I don't know. I want to shop in person. I want to have a more slow lifestyle. I kind of want to get back to my 1980s and 90s upbringing where how did we live without these technologies and how did we live without these opportunities? I remember when I was a kid, you had to order something. If they didn't carry it in the store, you had to order it. Like I want to say like through the Sears catalog, you had to order it and then they would ship it to the store and then you bought it, you picked it up from the store. There's nothing wrong with that. We were happy just as much back then as we, can be now, right? I'm not saying you have to go all primitive, but if you do struggle with overconsumption and overbuying, maybe simply take the app off your phone, take the Amazon app off your phone and just buy things that you need when, go to your computer to order those things and maybe try to shop online. So there's different things that this documentary talks about. It talks about how companies, to make a profit for the next year, they have to come out with new technologies. For instance, smartphones. Apple and Android and all the other smartphone companies are not going to make a profit unless they come out with new technologies. They can't continue to sell to 12-year-olds and people whose kids turn 12 or whatever age they give them a cell phone. No, they can't. They have to continue selling to the customers who already bought technologies from them in the first place. So they have to create a framework or a strategic company to where the device actually doesn't work after a couple of years and it forces the consumers to buy new devices. Now, my brother, I think he has still an iPhone 6. He can no longer get updates on it, which it's crazy to me that a company will just kind of like, nope, after a certain generation, you cannot get updates on your device, which I think is malarkey. It's just crazy. So, but he does have an iPhone 6 and it still works. It still does text and talk. And I think he still can get on social media. I want you to understand that these companies do have to up their game each and every year. I mean, fashion companies, they have to come out with a new season, the newest clothes this season, the newest fashions and trends. Who decides what these trends are? Like when we went from bell-bottom jeans back in the 80s and 90s to then skinny jeans in the early 2000s, and now in the 2020s we're onto wide leg mom jeans, which I actually love, by the way. I don't like low-rise jeans because hello, my underwear would always show in high school and I'm like, why? And now that mom jeans are in style, I'm like, I am a forever fan of mom jeans, and I do like bell bottoms as well and boot cut jeans. But who decides these trends? Well, marketing, and these companies, these fashion companies who have to sell to us. You know what? I don't remember anything that anybody from my church wore on Sunday. I cannot, if I close my eyes right now, I cannot remember a single thing that anybody wore on Sunday. No. You know what I care about? I care about the person's personality. If I'm going to talk to that person and be friends with them, I don't care about their clothes. I'm a grown adult. Maybe as a kid, that's a little bit harder for our teenagers. And as parents, we need to coach our kids through that and show them what real friendship looks like, not based on fashions and trends and who has the latest Nikes. But as an adult, I don't care anymore what people dress like. And maybe that's just me. And there's different people in different classes and lifestyles that do care, but I don't care. If you are a kind person and you have a relationship with the Lord, I'm probably going to be your friend. I'm probably going to, even if you don't have a relationship with the Lord and you're not a Christian, then I'll probably respect you as a person and value your opinion and just be like, yeah, that's a great person. They're contributing to society and they were kind to me and they pulled over on the side of the road and helped me change my tire or whatever. But just know as an adult, we don't really care unless you're somebody who's like a special snowflake that you do care. But typically people don't care what you wear as an adult anymore. Now, if you have a nice business or office job and you have to dress up, I understand those things. But as far as like being fashionable and trendy, y'all, like slow fashion. Isn't that like a saying? Like, oh, fast fashion. How they're already making tons of cheap clothing made out of cheap material, and it just breaks down when you wash it. And so we're always on this constant hamster wheel of finding new fashions and new trends. Y'all, refuse that stuff. Like, say no. I am going to be content in my black leggings because they make my legs look slim, and I'm going to be content with my black tank top or my white tank top. Y'all, I have like a uniform, like a mom uniform, and I've worn it for like the last 8 years. My black leggings, my black tank top, or maybe some cutoff jeans. I just don't care. I don't care. And I put myself together and I put my makeup on and I do my hair. Hey, all the clothes, as long as it didn't have holes in it, unless they're like strategically put there and that's like trendy and my jeans just happen to have holes. I am totally over like the holy jeans look though. I really am. I'm a grown adult now. I don't want holes in my jeans anymore. Okay, back to the documentary. So the documentary talks about how when we throw something away, when we throw these clothes away and we like take all these clothes and they just go away, where do they actually go? And so it kind of follows the path or the life cycle of those clothes. And a lot of them end up being shipped to third world countries that don't have the ability to dispose of them, and they end up on their beaches. It's a really awful sight to see. So this documentary, if you watch it, it is going to be challenging, but it is going to open up your eyes. And I was talking with one of my clients, and she said, however, this documentary can be very hard for people who pulls on their heartstrings when they throw something away that it like goes into the ocean or goes into the landfills. And people who have had hoarding tendencies, this will cause them to hoard even more because they know where these things are going to go. So they think, oh, I'll just keep it here. I'll keep it I'll keep it in my home instead of putting it in a landfill or putting it in, sending it off to go to a third world country. I don't want that to discourage you from downsizing in your home. I think that you can trust that when you take something to donation, that those people, they are doing as best they can to distribute those items as best as they can. Okay. So I don't want you to watch this and then say, oh, I just need to hold on to everything because if I can't get rid of anything. If anything, I want you to take away these 3 things. These are the 3 things, because I know for me that I was feeling that same way. I'm like, oh my gosh, all of these things that we're throwing away are just going to end up in the ocean, right? These are the 3 takeaways that I took away to settle my mind, to settle my anxiety, that I want to encourage you. Even if you don't watch this documentary, you can take away from this talk that we're having today, okay? Number 1, I want you to pause before making purchases. Just pause, take a breath, walk away. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Right? And I've talked about this in a couple of different recent episodes of how to overcome our overspending. Have a wish list and just think and dream about something instead of just instantly getting it just because you have the money or you can. All right? We don't even give Christmas presents anymore because we can just go out and buy things so quickly and so cheap. It's really disturbing the lifestyle that we have created. I want you to pause before you make your purchases. That is going to have a dramatic impact on the world. If everybody just started pausing their purchases before they make their purchases, that's going to change the world dramatically. Okay? It's going to cause companies to start making better products instead of cheaper, fast products. It's going to, we are then going to be the ones that make demands. Okay? We're going to demand for Apple computers to make products that actually last longer. All right? So I want you to pause. Number 1, if you watch this documentary or if you don't, what you can take away from it is I want you to pause before you make your purchases. Don't be so quick to go on Amazon, the Amazon app, and buy just because it's cheap and just because it's fast. Don't buy things just because they're cheap. Okay? Number 2, resist the urge to constantly update your wardrobe. That goes also to constantly update your house, like the trends of decorating in your home, okay? So I want you to fight against the urge to constantly update just because things are trendy. The pressure to stay quote unquote on trend is strong, but trends fade fast, and so does the excitement of new stuff. Okay? So I want you to remind yourself that you are not behind. You are not without. You do not have to have FOMO. You are choosing to stress less and have less clutter. Okay? All right, number 3 is to, when you do shop, I want you to buy thrifted and buy it used, or borrow things, or ask people on Facebook Marketplace, or not Facebook Marketplace, but on Facebook, hey, is anybody getting rid of this? I'm looking for that. Okay. Buy thrifted and used when possible. This supports sustainability and helps reduce waste. It is also often a more affordable way, which gives your budget some breathing room. So buy thrifted if you're not already, which probably a lot of my listeners do buy thrifted. And that's kind of where it gets us in trouble, is because it's so cheap, we just buy a lot of it. Let's not do that. So have your wish list. Go in and have an ongoing wish list of things that you're looking for, and let God provide those things. I always challenge God, and I'm like, okay, God, I'm not going to be in control. I'm not going to go out and just go buy this thing right away because I can, or I'm going to buy it new. No, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to see just what you provide. And he does so many times, and it's actually so much fun to wait. So I want to challenge you. Okay. Those 3 things take away from this documentary, if you watch it or if you don't. Pause before making your purchases. Resist the urge to constantly update your wardrobe, your home interior, anything based on trends. You be the trendsetter and you say, No, I'm just content. You just be known as the person who walks in with contentment all over your face. You might not be the most fashionable person, but you're going to be the person who shows up on time. You're going to be the person who is better organized. You're going to be the minimalist. Y'all, if you want to make a statement, don't try to chase trends. Everybody else is doing that. What other people actually want is peace. They want to see peace living out on somebody else. So you don't worry about trends. Worry about providing peace and exemplifying peace in your body and in your spirit and your soul, okay? And then the third thing is to buy thrifted or used when possible. And just have fun with that. That could be a lot of fun. So I don't want you to have guilt, okay? Grace over guilt. And I want you to start small. Could you do more? Absolutely. But trying to chase everything at once is overwhelming, especially when you already have a million things on your plate. So start small. The goal isn't perfection. It's awareness and progress. Just progressing 1%, just changing that 1%. Okay. I want you to start with one change. Okay. After you master that change, then, hey, have a little bit more awareness and say, okay, what's the next one thing I can change? Just like I tell you to do when you're creating new habits in your home. Don't try to eat the whole elephant. Don't try to do everything and change everything in your home and all your habits and all your systems all at once. It will fall flat. And so will this. When you try to change and overhaul all your spending habits, it will fall flat. We can't do that. We are humans. We are normal. So grace over guilt. You can't change everything, but you can change something. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you do watch the documentary Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy on Netflix, shoot me an email and let me know what you thought. Tell me what your takeaways were, and maybe just share if it did overwhelm you. You're welcome to share that as well. But hopefully I've coached you through this episode to approach this documentary with your eyes wide open and knowing that you can't do everything. Okay, you can't do everything, but you can do one thing. And I want you to take action on that one thing. Whatever God is pressing on your heart to do today, just do that one thing. All right, friends, I will see you right here next time on the Habits and Home Show. Hey, friend, before you go, I wanted to tell you more about the Accountability Club. Each month, we'll tackle a new space in our homes and work together to declutter and set up systems so we can easily maintain order without getting overwhelmed. You'll get a new decluttering tutorial each month, the coaching and accountability you need to actually follow through, and encouragement without judgment from other Christian moms in a safe environment. And guess what? The entire club is off of social media, so you don't have to worry about distractions the world may throw at you. Sweet friend, if you're feeling stuck in your decluttering journey, this is the place for you. Click the link below to try out the Accountability Club and start decluttering today.